Hey, it's Scott here, and I think you're going to hear about owned media a lot more coming into the next few years. And if you don't know what owned media is, it's essentially owning your own media company that allows you to be able to save a lot of money on the lead generation that you're already doing, the marketing you're already doing, um, and along with a bunch of other stuff. All right, so I just want to bring this to you. I want to share this with you. All right, so let's say you're generating traffic. All right. And let's say maybe you're a personal brand or a business brand, even e-commerce. Okay. So you have traffic and you're paying for that traffic. You've been maybe utilizing social media or whatever it might be, but you're collecting email addresses, phone numbers, audience details. And of course, generally speaking, you're going to convert about 1 to 3% of them up front. Okay. And then on the back end, over the span of the next 3 to 12 months, you're probably going to turn somewhere between 3 to 7% of those in the customers. All right. So I call these people the fast laners, right? The 1 to 3%, they're ready to buy pretty soon in the first maybe days or weeks. And we have the slow laners along with the sidewalkers, the people that may never buy, and the people that are going to buy soon. So 3 to 7% of them are going to buy at some point. Right? It may be in 3 months, maybe in 3 years, but at some point they're going to buy. But then we have this 90%, which are never going to buy. Now, well, maybe it's the fact that they don't like you. Maybe they don't like your marketing tactics. They don't have the need. They don't see the problem, the pain. They may not just have the money to do it, but you are spending money on generating those leads on your social media, on your newsletter, on your mailing list, on your funnel, whatever it might be. So this has been a problem I've seen for a long, long time. And I've seen the emergence of what I would call owned media, right? Newsletters, blogs, podcasts, communities that all have a certain level of relevancy, meaning they're a group of people that have a shared interest. And so if you're selling a health product, health is a shared interest. If you're helping people build their business, entrepreneurship is a shared interest. So in a general sense, you're generating leads, which we know majority are never going to become customers. And we have nothing to do about that. We have no solution. Traditional solution, of course, is to build more offers. Traditional solution is to be able to do more live things, more intimacy, more relevancy, intimacy, and omnipresence. Well, there's an amazing opportunity inside of this. And I kind of stumbled upon this. And I mean, I've always known it, but I've never really, got into the world of it. And because when I had my fast lane, when I first developed my fast lane, slow lane sidewalk method back in 2015, I was really only focused on the slow lane and fast lane, because at the end of the day, I knew that sidewalkers would take years, if at all, to turn into customers. So the opportunity here is to take the traffic whatever strategy that's already working for you, and not changing anything with that, okay? And being able to do what you currently do, right? So if you have low ticket offers and you're doing things to upsell people, to increase your average order value, your lifetime value, everything that you do, nothing there changes. The only thing that changes is this. We're able to launch a media asset. It could be a newsletter, a podcast, community. And it's not your brand name, right? So if you have a personal brand, it's not your name. If you are a company brand, it is a separate company and a separate name. And this is owned media. So it could be whatever brand. And we essentially make it so that when somebody comes, so at the beginning, we segment, and we're able to take your audience and we're like, hey, we're launching this new other thing. We introduce those people to them. And then in the future, as people are coming in here, learning about your company, the 90%, 95% that aren't coming customers are directed over here, right? So it's the 90% of the majority that are never going to buy from you come over to this owned media. Now, this is what it allows you to do. It allows you to separate and almost create a secondary marketing-backed asset. So this allows you to do partnerships, affiliates, sponsorships, low tickets, all sorts of other things, but these are what I would be focused on. And what this allows you to do is a lot of things that you wouldn't want to do in your main business, such as you don't want to be selling affiliate offers to your main audience when your main thing is X, and every single week you're putting out a new offer, a new thing, a new affiliate offer. right? Because at the end of the day, you're going to make less money to your core offer if it's associated with your brand. But if it's not associated with your brand, it's a little bit less, doesn't matter as much. Just the same way, if you're going to do a promotional offer for your offer, you're not going to have a sponsor for that offer, but you can over here in this owned media. Because what you're really doing is you're just bringing your audience over here where for example, they're interested in things around, let's just use entrepreneurship as an example. Well, we're now able to generate revenue from entrepreneur-oriented offers, information, and things for that audience, completely separate from your main business. So I'll give you a little bit of an example, okay? So we had a SaaS company, and we did this, and we ended up creating a newsletter, and we're about to launch a podcast on the back of this. This newsletter today has 64,000 people with an open rate of 60% and a click rate of 3%. Okay, so this software company over the past 5 years generated about 300,000 signups. Okay, this is for marketers. This was a software for marketers. All right, so we were able to go and we launched this out, and we ended up with about 64,000 engaged people on this newsletter. What this allows us to do is twice a week, send this newsletter with sponsors, with affiliates, and with our own, what we call the Wisdom Panel, which is our own curated content, expert-driven content. This newsletter in 2024 projected to do at least $1 million in revenue with an incredibly high profit margin, right? It's already generating insane, to me at least, an insane amount of revenue and value for literally being just a side business, just a side asset. Now, here's the other cool thing. Not only are we able to generate revenue over here, we're able to then promote the main company in a secondary way. We're creating almost a third-party tool. I don't know about you, but sometimes you need to hear something from someone else than the actual company itself. Having someone else talk about you is more powerful than you talking about yourself. We've also done this for personal brands. We've also done this for e-commerce brands. And there is a massive amount of value inside of this. The opportunity to essentially make it so that your marketing budget disappears. Think about it this way, okay? So when we're spending money on marketing, the biggest problem, of course, is being able to get your ROAS, your return on ad spend, high enough, okay? So first issue is getting it high enough. The second issue, so that's number one. The second issue is getting it quick enough, okay? So because like at the end of the day, if you can't get your money back fast enough, it means you can't really increase your spend of marketing, which makes it so that your ability to scale goes down, right? So, and then on top of that, it is how much can we increase LTV and AOV, right? Lifetime value and average order value, okay? So if all of these things are true and we're essentially taking it and making it so that we can pretty much double dip on your audience and sell to the 90% that you're generating that you literally can't make any money from, this gets really, really, really exciting. And it's made me very exciting. We now own over 2 dozen of these media assets, and we'll own about 50 by the end of 2023. Now, I'm all in on this because I see the value of it. I'm seeing the revenue that is able to be generated on the back of something you're already doing. So let's say you're already at 2x to 3x ROAS on the front end, and then you're able to come in and create a media asset that's making even more money, right? Giving you an extra 1x or 2x. Well, you can automatically put that money right back in to help grow the business. And so it's almost like on a P&L, if you had an entire line item for revenue as marketing, right? Your marketing was a line item. Generally, it's an expense. We're making it a line item, but not only that, the advantages here are really interesting because you're able to create a separate brand that's able to talk about your brand as well as others that is also a sellable asset. You're literally creating a sellable asset that in many cases is selling somewhere between, not always, depends on the situation, $5 to $10 per subscriber plus 2 to 3x of the revenue of that asset. We're seeing that. And we own a company that actually facilitates the sale, the buying and selling of assets like this. And so we're seeing businesses literally just repackaging what they already have to build a secondary asset that can be sold with their business or separately. Allows you to have also very passive income, because this is something that isn't that complicated to be able to actually build and create. It allows you to have essentially a new passive income stream. It allows you to reinforce your brand, allows you to be able to have a lot of these really cool elements that wouldn't be possible with your own brand, right? So this allowed me in my own brand, I was able to create 2 specific media assets. One's onlinebusinessinvest.com, the other one's the 7figureletter.com. And those 2 properties created a brand new stream of revenue on my own personal brand, being able to sponsor, do affiliate deals, partnership deals. That wouldn't make sense to my direct brand itself, meaning it's made it so that I'm able to talk about something and being able to talk about it through a brand instead of me personally, right? And so that allows me as a personal brand to talk about more than I normally would. Allows me to, one ad in my 7-figure letter is $7,000. A single ad in that being sold for $7,000. Onlinebusinessinvest.com, similar, it's a little bit less, similar story. And so you have this massive emergence as well of people that are wanting to target your ideal audiences that aren't necessarily a direct competitor of yours, but it wouldn't make sense to do it to your main email list or your main podcast or your main community or whatever it might be. Right? So I want to help you do this. All right. So I want to help you and show you exactly how this works. I want to show you how to implement this, and I want to give you the systems to be able to do it because we're doing it at scale. And at the end, my intention is that you're able to take this, launch your own media, newsletter, podcast, whatever it might be, and to be able to build this as a way to be able to build influence and audience separate from your current personal or business brand, be able to have a sellable asset, and be able to have something that generates you more revenue while being able to make it so that you can spend more money on the marketing of your business to be able to scale it more quickly. Okay, so all the details are below on how this works, the specifics of how it works. This is really, really, really exciting stuff. And I think it's going to catch on, and it just makes so much sense for the overall picture of being able to scale your business, especially because it's literally like having free money to spend on the scaling and the growing and the increased asset value of your business. All right. I hope to see you inside. Talk soon.